Good morning, and I think that I've just bowling in like this. I think that I have discovered what's wrong. The system won't actually take too much video, and why I don't know, but I will get our experts on it, who are absolute experts, terrific. And we drew a blank earlier. But Andrew Sloan may join us if the system works. He's been sent a little link to bring him on, in which case we can chat about various things. And let's hope that it will work now. The system is playing up just a little bit, I'm afraid, just playing up a little bit. But let's see if it all works this morning. Yes, let me just gently take you through before Andrew comes along. The newspaper headlines this morning is in the Metro, the storm in a teacup, and the sleaze thing around Boris Johnson is not going away, and the Conservatives are having a right old go amongst themselves, and they very much want to slam each other, and particularly Boris, for the whole thing about the MP, the former cabinet minister, who is selling his knowledge, and of course they all do. But he was asking for more than £500,000, so there's more than half a million for his services, and that does break the regulations. I'd like to know what the regulations are that allow us to have anybody sell their favours while they're in office. All sounds very wrong to me. Now, the PM battles to contain Tory sleaze backlash. They really are getting a bad time, and Boris is taking the brunt of it. So there we are. Those who aren't Boris fans very much can expect a spanking indeed. And the Guardian, of course, is. Which is never ever very happy with the government, says that watchdog hits out at ministers over top jobs, and so this is going a bit further, because what they're doing now is saying, hey, have the Conservatives sent a few people to the Lords just simply because they paid a lot of money? Well, since every party has been doing that for God knows how many long, I can't say that there's much story there. But I suppose once you actually start a sleaze thing, you're in trouble. Right, let's see. The Mirror. Cops told probe Tory Lord scandal. There we go. It's all happening in Westminster this morning. Daily Express, on the brink. A Brexit trade war looms. Thank God we got Mickey on this morning. Mickey Collins is on. He's always good for a comment or two. On the brink, Brexit trade war looms, and it looks as if we're going to have the trade war. Not only the fishing rights, but also the question of Northern Ireland border, which goes through the North Sea, and which is causing hardship all the way around. But the EU is now digging its heels in and is saying, listen, we're going to fight you on all these issues, and if necessary, we'll stop trading with you. It's that simple. The Daily Telegraph, Hancock, jab NHS staff before winter hits. And what he's saying is, listen, we're in for a bad time this winter with COVID. Make it mandatory for health workers to have a jab. Oh, that's going to cause quite a controversy. The Times, doctors set to be barred from jobs in richer areas. Well, how the hell are they going to do this? I have no idea. what the suggestion is that all doctors head for the richest surgeries, and the poorer parts of the country are then without doctors. So doctors are going to be barred from taking jobs in the richer sector. Heard all that before. The Daily Mail, new fears over microplastics in your home. They take a totally different view away from the sleaze or from COVID, and what they're saying is that their plastic products are giving out little dots into the air, and that we're breathing them in, and that they're pretty harmful. The Financial Times, French prosecutors probe Gupta operations over misuse of assets. Well, the Gupta is been investigated for a little while. It's the French, the steel magnate who has been accused of fiddling the contracts and so on. The Daily Star, cheers, it's a white Christmas. Well, good old Star, I just love it. What it means by a white Christmas is white wine Christmas, because it says to hell with getting drink for Christmas from lorry drivers, because now somebody has come up with some rail stuff, so that big tankers are going to move wine around the country, and we won't suffer. Now, let me have another go at inviting Andrew. There we go, Andrew. We'll try again. And I hope you're getting this link, because this one is causing us. Thai Fry Cry says Imbabong Ladipo Salusi, who is my lovely lady in Nigeria. So those are the headlines, and I did actually want to talk about one or two other things which are lurking behind the headline, and I hope that I've got Andrew, because I'd like to chat to him about it. The trade war is one, of course, but there are two things. First of all, 30,000 people, and you can see the fireworks still behind me. 30,000 people flooded into Lewis on Friday. It's a pretty damn good crowd. Not the maximum by far. We have had up to 80 to 100,000 in the past, but it was not a bad crowd, and we broadcast it, and indeed the streets were surging. And I'm a little disappointed that we can't don't seem to have Andrew with us. Why we're having difficulty, because sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, and I think we really do need to get that one sorted out. And God bless him, Tony, who is just a wizard with these things. I'm sure we'll now get onto StreamYard and say, hey, listen, you're cocking things up for us at breakfast time. It's not working, and why isn't it working? And it's we really need to get that fixed, because otherwise we're going to have grief for the rest of the winter, and I don't intend to have that sort of grief at all, and neither does Tony. So we're going to have to get these people on their toes. Anyway, perhaps we'll get Andrew. Perhaps it will work. But until then, let me rant and let me rave, because. There were only 6 incidents or 6 arrests made in Bonfire. One lady apparently ended up in the River Ouse. How she did that, but all she got was damp, not life-threatening. And there was one so-called serious incident, and it didn't seem that the serious incident was so serious that any details are available. But a fairly, I mean, for that sort of level, with 40,000 people streaming through the streets of Lewis, is not bad at all. However, there was a stabbing in Hastings at the end of last week, and there have been incidents with knives and some violence. And in New Haven, a young girl was approached by some man in the street, and he tried to kiss her. So the post-Brexit law and order issue seems to still be with us. And since Scotland Yard is still trying to sort out their sleaze stuff, it's not easy for us to it's not easy at all to really think that we've not got a problem when it comes to law and order, crime and so on, which seems to be on the increase. I haven't noticed lately that I think that the price of puppies must have gone down, as I haven't noticed too much effort in terms of the dogs, dog napping that we had. Right, what's Mickey saying? Boris is the only thing that's standing between us and mandatory vaccine. Once he's gone, what comes next will be 10 times worse for everybody. Oh well, okay, Mickey, that's your view, good. And I'm sure that view will stir up a few responses and retorts. Hang on, here's because the fireworks display wasn't advertised like normal, only a few people knew about it, like locals, and banned the fire societies. And to stop more people from arriving, the police got 4 SG turned off, 4 or 5 turned off in the town centre, stopping people being able to contact friends. I didn't know that. And maybe that may have caused us some problems, although we went ahead with a fairly stable signal. In fact, the boys are very pleased with it. Right, I'm still waiting, hopefully, that Andrew is going to join me. I'm going to send him one more invite because I know what's going to happen there if now is that oh dear. Now that should have gone to him. It should have gone the first 2 times, but whether it has or not is oh dear. It's very unhappy. So if you're looking at an unhappy bunny this morning, it's because of the frustration of all these things that are said to help us and to make things more efficient, and they never do. They always slow us down. And that's why I've started my rant under the if you could find it. There's a rant now is about the Triphens, and my my rant is called "The Return of the Triphens." But the Triphens, for those people who don't know, were a plant animal that came to Earth in the 1950s, and they were cultivating oil for man, and then one night a starburst blinds everybody and the Triphens take over, the day of the Triphens. My view is that computers are doing the same thing, they're taking over. They're controlling us and not controlling them. So that's my rant that's going on. I'm not very happy with what was it that Mickey said? Right. Yeah, I'm not very happy if, in fact, what the police did is if Mickey is right, is to cut off a service to people. And he says that they had to go to broadband Wi-Fi and with special permission. And he's not a great fan of bonfire anyway, Mickey. A lot of people aren't. Let's face it. There are a lot of people who They're not very happy. This thing isn't coming through with Andrew, and I'm more than disappointed. We kicked off with we kicked off with Stuart on if I'm fluting around, I'm terribly sorry, but when you things should work, and when the technology for which you pay for a service it doesn't provide what you're expecting or what you need, it throws you a bit. Not really throws you, but takes the sparkle out of what you intended to do. And I was hoping that I would be having a nice jolly chat to Andrew Sloan, who actually got out of bed this morning to do this, and it just isn't working. And because I can't actually send him on Hotmail, which is my normal thing, because the Hotmail thing has gone skew with. So the whole system suddenly depends upon whether you can send an email from a certain site, which has now gone bad. So don't tell me too much how great the internet is, and so on and so forth. I keep on. The more I rant and rave, the more I find that people who that it all goes wrong for them. And all these brave forecasts. My message is to Microsoft and Apple and all the rest of the people is get the systems right that you've got before you go charging off and developing all these new things which nobody can use and which actually cause problems with what you've given us already. It really isn't quite good enough. And if you don't do that, then there is no point in why don't you just get off and let somebody else take over who's prepared to do that. Is prepared to have systems that are fairly simple, that work, and then worry about development later. Oh dear, Keith, dear. It is a Monday morning, isn't it? And it's Monday morning blues. And here we are at 20 to 9, and Andrew must be very disappointed. And actually, frankly, I hope that he's pissed off with us, because he was all ready to go, and we haven't delivered. I can blame the technology, and I do blame the technology, but in the long run, the buck has to stop with us. We are supposed to run the technology, not the technology run us. And here we are complaining about banks and big business and so on being run by their computers, and we're being run by our computers. It's totally incapable and not able to do anything about overcoming some of the problems that computers have thrown up this morning. And we really need to get to the point where we don't give in to the computers. We just don't give in. Oh, I'm supposed to be jolly at this hour of the morning. I'm supposed to get you into a good mood. I'll tell you one thing, is the weather is not bad out there. It's a lovely day. The sun is in the sky. We're going to have, there's no chance of rain. Well, there's 5% chance of rain, both today and tomorrow. Scattered cloud today, full cloud tomorrow. And we are in for a nice little spell. It is autumn weather too. I mean, it's sharp, and it tingles your nose and tingles your fingers, and it's to say the least pleasant. You can tell that my mind isn't on the job this morning, because the job in hand really has been sidetracked because of these technical problems which are causing all sorts of issues, and I'm rabbiting on about it, but it's because of my disappointment of what we should be doing and which we have been working towards. And I'm glad to say I've got a first-class team. Nick and Tony take a look at these things and they get them fixed. The trouble is that they have to happen first before we can fix them. And that causes problems in an early morning program like this. Let's one thing that I think is rather nice this morning is cheers, it's a white Christmas. And that's in my very favourite Star newspaper. And what I'm just talking about is that apparently there are wine trains going to be run by National Rail to ensure people have enough to drink at Christmas. And it's saying that they will not wait for the resolution of the long-distance lorry drivers, which is causing the shortage of foods and stuff on the supermarket shelves. It's saying what we'll do is we've got tanks to move wine, and we can move wine by rail around the country. And in fact, I can remember as a young boy, because I've been very fond of trains. Got a little sniffle this morning. I'm very fond of trains all my life. I've got all sorts of models, and one model was of a wine carrier with the French rail. So it is possible, and if in fact that's the way it's going to be, I'm all for it. Make sure that we've got wine in the home and in the stores for Christmas. So that's a unique way. I think that you're probably getting very tired of me rabbiting on like this. Yes, okay. Now, Mickey has raised something that I'd forgotten. There seems to be some barn burning. There seems to be an arsonist let loose locally, and causing havoc and damage. And one owner of a barn said, do you understand, whoever is doing this, just what harm you do, what damage you do, and how this affects people's livelihoods. And of course, the more that you say that, the more that the barn burner will try to burn more barns. And it's one of those things that is a fact of life. But it is happening locally. Keep your eyes peeled. If you see anybody acting suspiciously around a barn, please give the coppers a call straight away, because it's a bad scene. Arsonists do create all sorts of problems. Right, okay. I think that obviously I'm not going to get to Andrew this morning, and I'm very sorry about that, because he's a lively chap, and this is what our new scene and our new season is based on. So Tony and I, with a little help from Nick, will work on it today to make sure that when we click on something that it damn well works, and that we don't have to go begging to people to explain why the computer isn't doing what it is not doing. And it's not doing it this morning, and I think it's doing it out of spite to us. That's what I think. So I'm terribly sorry about these things. We will be back tomorrow, and hopefully let's cross our fingers that we are back full stream tomorrow and working properly. On behalf of everybody who did such a great job on Friday, because our coverage of the bonfire was excellent. We looked up the street and down the street. We went out to the bonfires themselves. All in all, it was a very good program, and more than 1,000 people tuned in to us, and also the overseas people who we know also were fascinated by it and wanted to see what was going on. So until tomorrow, and hopefully it will be a decent day tomorrow and a decent show tomorrow. Until then, toodle pip.